What's going on, everybody? My name is Justin Gaming. So yes, after 2 months I'm finally back on YouTube. Now I quickly want to apologize and also explain why exactly I was gone for such a long period of time. Basically, for those of you who don't know, I'm in my final year of high school, so I was finishing up everything before the universities had to look at my marks, so I was working really hard at school, and I just decided that I would have to put YouTube aside for the time being. And now that I'm finally done, I can finally get back into YouTube. After that, I was dealing with a bit of personal issues. I don't really want to get into it, but yeah, it's good to be back. I'm finally back now, and I figured, with E3 coming up in little like it's just 1 month before E3. It's just I guess a month and a half before E3 is finally here. I would return with a big E3 2018 PlayStation press conference predictions. And if you watch my predictions I did in the previous years, I think I started the predictions like in E3 2016, or was it 2015? I don't even know, to be honest, anymore. But those predictions, those were great. I really enjoy doing predictions for all these types of conferences, especially E3. I find it's super fun. Last year was great because I made tons of predictions, and honestly, I think I got most of them right. Like I got maybe 75% of the predictions right. It was just a fun time doing the predictions, and then when it was time for the actual press conference, you see if you were right or not. But this year I wanted to do something a little different with the predictions. I already did my early predictions a few months ago before I went on that 2-month break. I made 5 early predictions for all the different press conferences, but today I'm going to be specifically focusing on the Sony conference, of course, because that's the conference I look forward to the most. And what I wanted to do this year, which was something different, is that I wanted to try and predict everything that we're going to see in the entire conference in chronological order. Now obviously, I'm sure if we're talking about chronological order, like the order of everything and the stuff we're going to see, I'm going to be quite wrong, because it would be extremely difficult to predict the order that we're going to see everything. But still, nonetheless, I hope I can try my best. I made a list of predictions here with everything I hope we're going to see, along with some of the predictions. And I put it into an order where I looked at the past years and I thought, okay, I could see this happening. So yeah, I divided it into 3 sections. I divided it into the opening, the middle, and the closing. You'll see what I mean once I get into it. But yeah, I guess honestly I can start right away. The first thing I'm going to start off with is the opening, how they're going to start the conference. Now, I looked at the past 2 years. Last year, E3 2017, they started off with Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. E3 2016, they started off with God of War. And what I realized is that with the Sony conferences, they like to start their press conferences with something big that everybody knows that'll right away grab their attention. So what I decided to put down was they would start the conference with Death Stranding, the Death Stranding gameplay reveal. And I think I mentioned this also in my first E3 video that I made all the way back in January or February. I predicted that they'd open the conference with a Death Stranding gameplay reveal. Death Stranding is the game by Hideo Kojima, Kojima Productions. It's starring Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, and yeah, it's just we've seen what is it, 3 trailers by now. And I think it's now, it's time that we finally see some gameplay for this game. I don't think people will be that satisfied if we just get another trailer once again. I mean, sure, it would still be cool to see new footage from Death Stranding, but I just think that we've seen 3 trailers now. I think it's time that we finally see what the game will play like. And for big fans of the Metal Gear Solid series, they will like to see how Death Stranding will be different, or how it will be similar to Metal Gear Solid. So yeah, that's really interesting. Me myself, I'm looking to play the entire Metal Gear Solid series sometime this summer once I'm completely out of school. I already bought all the games. I have all the games, so yeah, I can play that once I'm done school. But yeah, that's how I think they're gonna open the show, with Death Stranding gameplay reveal. After that, the second thing I put down was the the official announcement of From Software's new IP. We saw that they kind of showed us a little teaser at the Game Awards 2017. It was what was it, a 10-second, or I don't know, it was a 10-second small little clip, and then it said "Shadows Die Twice." and I think this is where we're gonna see the official reveal. We don't know exactly if it's Bloodborne 2 or if it's a new IP. I've heard like different people saying it's Bloodborne, other people saying it's a new IP. I don't really know because I haven't really played Bloodborne at all myself. I have it, again, this is another game that I have that I still have yet to play, and I definitely want to do so. Because yeah, I know Bloodborne is, it's a great game. It was received really well by all the PlayStation fans. So I think that the second thing we're going to see is the new game from Software, and they'll probably show this off with a official gameplay demo. Because with a game like Bloodborne and the Souls games, you don't really get to like feel what type of game it is unless you see the gameplay. So yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. After that, I think they're going to come back with another game that we already know. I put down Ghost of Tsushima gameplay reveal. This is another game by Sucker Punch, and this game's probably going to be coming out in 2019. I expect it to come out around maybe spring 2019. And I think that, yeah, with the game coming out in early 2019, early spring, that we need to see gameplay for that game. Because, I think that even though this game was announced much later than let's say The Last of Us Part 2 or Death Stranding, I think this game is actually going to be coming out before both of those two, because I think Sony learned that they don't need to announce games so early in advance. So I think they waited for Ghost of Tsushima until a later point in time where they announced it at Paris Games Week 2017, and I think we're going to see a gameplay reveal at E3 2018. The next one, this one, I don't know if it can happen. I really hope it does. This is something I really want to see. I put down the Order 1887 / new IP from Ready at Dawn, their new game officially revealed with a teaser trailer. And so we know that Ready at Dawn is currently working on a new third-person cinematic action adventure game. It says based on a new IP. So I don't really know, it could be a new IP, although if it says based on a new IP, they could be talking about the Order kind of franchise that they built up. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. It'll probably be a new IP, but I'm kind of hoping for an Order sequel, just because I really enjoyed the Order 1886, and a sequel to that I feel could improve on it in so many different ways. And yeah, I would just really love to see a sequel to the Order, because if it happens at Sony's press conference, I'll be super happy. The next thing I put down, so that now we're going to move on to the second section. This is the middle section that I was talking about. This is kind of usually the part where in the Sony conferences, in the middle, where they show off the third-party games and also the PlayStation VR. Me myself, I don't really look forward to this section as much. It could still be cool. There's usually still some new announcements and some new game footage that we could look forward to, but it's just me myself. What I love so much about the Sony conferences is all the exclusives. So for the third-party section, this is also kind of hard to predict, because Sony could they could get marketing rights to so many different games, third-party games, that we can't really predict. I just listed tons of different games that we could potentially see. I don't really know. So in no particular order, I put down Call of Duty Black Ops 4, potentially a gameplay trailer like we saw last year at Sony's conference with World War II. I think we're going to see the Spyro Reignited trilogy that was recently announced. I think we're just going to see another gameplay trailer there. I put down Kingdom Hearts 3, another gameplay trailer. This one, I put down Red Dead Redemption 2. Well, I said probably not, it probably won't happen, but there's a chance, only because with Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out only 6 months away, they need to start pumping out, they just need to start showing the game more. We've got, by the time you see this video, there'll be a new Red Dead Redemption trailer coming out, probably the next day or something like that. But yeah, once again, E3, Rockstar doesn't really care about these events, honestly. They could have their own showing of Red Dead, just release a trailer, and then it will blow up instantly. Everybody will be talking about it. But I just feel the game's coming out in the fall. They could show it at E3 with gameplay. I have no idea. It could happen. I don't know. It could just blow everybody away. But yeah, I don't know. It probably won't happen, but it's just something that could happen. Another thing I put down was Devil May Cry 5 official announcement. I don't really know too much about Devil May Cry. It's not really a series that I've ever played, but I just know that right now there's there's a new game in that series being in the works or something like that. So I guess we could see an official announcement or something like that. Next up, I put a Batman / Justice League or new IP, whatever that Rocksteady is working on, because we don't really know. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. I'm not sure what Rocksteady is up to now these days. Yeah, it's just been a while since we've heard from Rocksteady since Batman Arkham Knight. You know, 2015, that game came out, and yeah, I think it's time that we finally see what they're up to, and I could see them showing off their new game at Sony's E3 press conference. Next up, the final thing I put down for the third-party games was Remedy's new game. They're currently working on a new IP. By the time you get this video, you'll know that Remedy recently just announced that they are going to be at E3 showing off their new game P7. So it is confirmed that Remedy will be there. It's just a matter of fact of where we're going to see the game. Now this one I don't know, because like I could see them being at both the Xbox, the Microsoft conference, or this one, the Sony conference. The reason why I think it has a chance of showing up at the Sony conference as opposed to the Microsoft conference is because we know that Quantum Break, which was the game they Remedy previously made that came out only on Xbox One and PC, it sold absolutely poorly, and honestly it wasn't received that well. And honestly, I feel like a big part of that was just that the audience that the game was made for. I feel like if the game came out on the Sony platforms, it would have done a lot better. And yeah, I just feel like if they advertised this game at the Sony conference, it would be far better received than if it was showed off at the Microsoft conference. At the same time, we know that you know, they have good relationship with Microsoft with Quantum Break and Alan Wake. So yeah, I don't know. I guess we have to wait and see. Alright, so the next thing I put down, also in the middle section, was the PlayStation VR section. Now, I'm not really going to go too in-depth with the PlayStation VR section because it's kind of hard to predict which studios exactly are working on PlayStation VR games. That's kind of hard to tell, and I don't exactly know what kind of games they'll be working on. You know, we've had like, what's it called? The people that made Until Dawn, they made like, what, 2 new PlayStation VR games in the past year or so. We saw it at last year's E3 press conference where they unveiled like 2 new PlayStation VR games. So yeah, I mean, PlayStation VR, I'm sure they're gonna show stuff at the conference. I just don't know if it'll have like a big focus. Last year, I mean, honestly, PlayStation VR only took up like maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. So once again, I don't think it will be having like a super big focus, but they gotta show off some stuff because PlayStation VR, they definitely gotta push it and show people why this is something you still need to buy and that they're going to support it with tons of new games continuing forward. Moving on to the final section. This is the closing section I was talking about, the third category. So I think they're gonna close off with some more exclusives. I put down 4 more exclusives that they could show. The first one I put down was Dreams. I think we're gonna get a gameplay trailer with an official release date. This one I'm still kind of iffy about because I don't really know what the current state of Dreams is. You know, we know that the game is supposed to come out this year. We haven't heard anything at all this year, so unless we hear anything before E3, I'm just guessing we're gonna see like a gameplay trailer again at E3 showing off, you know, showing people why they need to buy this game from Media Molecule with an official release date. I could see this game coming out kind of like at 2 different points in the year. One would be the summer. I don't know. It kind of depends. Like if it comes out in the summer, I feel like they're just gonna try and get that game, you know, get that game out, but it's not gonna like have a big impact on anybody. So they either get it out like maybe like August or something, or like July. I don't know, like before Spider-Man comes out. And then another point I could see it coming out is maybe like at the end of the year, like end of November or like early December, kind of something like with The Last Guardian they did in, was that 2016? Yeah, I think it was 2016. I could just see that happening with Dreams. Next up I put was Days Gone. I think with Days Gone, now that we've already seen like two large gameplay demos that we've seen, the game was of course recently delayed to 2019. I think that's kind of tricky actually. When is that game going to come out? 2019? I guess maybe that game could come out before Ghost of Tsushima, maybe like really early 2019, maybe like February or something like that. February 2019 we could see Days Gone come out. So I think that now that we've seen 2 gameplay walkthroughs, we're kind of going to see more like a story slash gameplay trailer, kind of like something that we saw with the God of War trailer we saw last year. I think that is good because they gotta like show people that this game isn't just gonna be shooting zombies or shooting freakers, whatever you want to call them. This game's actually gonna have a story. They're gonna show off the open world, the exploration. So yeah, I think that if they just do that in the kind of like a 2-3 minute gameplay trailer, that would also be really cool. Yeah, basically just show the fans that what this game is made of. Next up, Spider-Man from Insomniac, of course. We know that the game is coming out in September. We recently got the release date with all the collector's edition and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Spider-Man, I think, once again, Spider-Man is the type of game where you just want to show another set piece. Spider-Man, we saw the set piece gameplay last year. I think they're just going to do another one this year. Probably, like, once again, another big epic set piece where Spider-Man's, like, swinging across the entire city. You know, just chaotic everywhere. And he's, like, you know, swinging around, taking down bad guys, saving people, stuff like that. And, you know, Spider-Man is a game that I didn't realize before, but so many people are, like, extremely hyped for it. The hype for Spider-Man is ridiculous. So I think that the Spider-Man on PS4, they gotta do a set piece at E3 just to blow away all the fans, you know. And yeah, before we get to the end, you know, we got Spider-Man. After that, I think everyone's gonna be like super happy. They'll be cheering for Spider-Man. And then to close off the show, I think that, you know, they have to close off the show with the gameplay reveal of The Last of Us Part 2. I just think it has to happen. The Last of Us is probably, like, arguably the most anticipated game by most people right now. And I think at the very end, oh yeah, one more thing. Before they end the gameplay reveal, you know, we're gonna see Ellie in gameplay form. We're gonna see the new changes from the original game. What's gonna be different? How playing as Ellie is gonna play differently from playing as Joel. And I think at the very end of that gameplay reveal or something like that, we're gonna see the reveal of Shannon Woodward's character. Because yeah, I remember I read somewhere that Shannon Woodward said that we'd be seeing her character very soon, or I think it was Neil Druckmann that said that actually, that we'd finally be able to see the reveal of her character very soon. And I think at the very end we're going to see like a 2019 window. It's going to reveal that the game's coming out in 2019. I don't think we're going to get any like specific release date or anything like that, because Sony doesn't like to do that anymore. But it's just going to say like 2019, and everyone's going to be cheering. They're going to be super happy, and yeah. So yeah, that's everything I wrote down. Those were my Sony E3 2018 you know, press conference predictions. Of course, if I left anything out, please make sure to let me know down below in the comments. These were just my personal predictions. So yeah, make sure to let me know down below in the comments some of your personal predictions. And with that being said, I'd like to thank you a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.